Most shore sellers leave money on the table and they never even knew it happened. Are you leaving money on the table? If you own a home in Cape May County, in the Wildwoods, Stone Harbor, Avalon, Lower Township, Middle Township, or anywhere along the southern New Jersey coast, and you are thinking about selling, this video could be worth tens of thousands of dollars to you. Selling shore real estate is not like selling a primary residence in a typical suburban market. This is a seasonal, lifestyle-driven vacation home market, and the rules are different. Pricing is different, timing is different. The legal considerations are different, and if you approach it like a standard home sale, you are going to leave money behind, I promise you. I'm going to break down the most important things every Cape May County seller needs to understand: why the shore market moves the way it does, why your Zillow estimate is almost certainly wrong, and why most sellers overprice and then chase the market down, and why preparation, not speed, is what gets you the best results. Now, before we get into all of it, I put together a free guide that will help you sell your home for more and with confidence. It covers everything from pricing strategy to closing day, written specifically for the shore market. The link is in the description. Grab it, and if you want to talk about your specific situation, my number is there too. And if you're finding this useful, go ahead and hit subscribe. I put out real, local, no-fluff content for Cape May County sellers and buyers every single week. Okay, let's get into it. Let's start with the most fundamental question: should you sell right now or should you wait? Here's what I tell every client who asks me that. You rarely time the market perfectly. What you can control is preparation, pricing, and presentation. And those 3 Ps will maximize your result in any market condition. But timing still matters, especially at the shore. And this is something most sellers don't fully appreciate. The shore market is seasonal in a way that very few real estate markets are. Buyer activity starts building in January and February. These are buyers who spent the previous summer at the shore, fell in love with it, and made a decision to buy. Then by March, they're getting serious, and peak buying season runs from late February through July. That's your window. And why does this matter? Because a property that misses peak season doesn't just sit, it loses perceived value. Buyers assume something is wrong with it. And by the time fall rolls around, you're dealing with a smaller buyer pool that is significantly more price sensitive. You've left your best leverage behind. So, the question isn't just, is the market good right now? The question is, are you positioned to take advantage of it? There are clear signals that tell you it's the right time. Low inventory in your specific area, comparable homes selling at or above asking price, and sufficient equity to cover your costs and still hit your financial goals. The guide walks you through a full readiness checklist. It's in the description, so go grab it. Now let's talk about pricing, because this is where sellers make their biggest and most expensive mistake. Here's the truth about home value. Your home is worth exactly what a ready, willing, and able buyer will pay for it in today's market. Not what you paid for it, not what you've put into it, not what your neighbor got last year, and definitely not what Zillow says. I want to say a word about the Zestimate because I get questions about it every single week. Zillow's automated valuation uses publicly available data and algorithms. It has never been inside your home. It does not know about your renovations, your views, your outdoor space, or the neighbors. It does not understand the nuances of a coastal market like ours. In shore communities with lower transaction volume, Zestimates can be off by 10 to 20% or more. And on a $500,000 home, that's $100,000. That's a huge error. Use it as the roughest possible reference point and nothing more, please. The right way to price your home is through a comparative market analysis, a real CMA done by someone who actually knows this market. That means looking at what similar homes have sold for in the last 90 days in your specific neighborhood, not just the broad area. You want to focus on your street, your proximity to the beach, your block. Even a 1 block difference can make a huge difference, maybe tens of thousands of dollars in a price. That's how hyper local this market is. And here's why overpricing is so dangerous, specifically here. Shore buyers are frequently out-of-state purchasers making decisions on a weekend visit with limited time and high competition on their schedule. A home that looks overpriced on Zillow or Realtor.com just doesn't make the cut. It doesn't make their showing list. You don't get a second chance at that first online impression. The guide breaks down exactly what a proper pricing strategy looks like for shore properties, including a seller's net sheet, so you will know what you'll walk away with after commissions and fees. Now let's talk about preparation, because there is a difference between sellers who get multiple offers in the first week and sellers who sit on the market and wonder what went wrong. Shore buyers are making emotional decisions. They are not just buying a house, they're buying a lifestyle, a feeling. They want to walk through the door and immediately picture their friends and loved ones there spending summers with them. That is the moment you're selling. You either capture it or you don't. So why does preparation matter so much here? Because a large segment of shore buyers are purchasing remotely or making quick decisions over a single weekend. If they see deferred maintenance, clutter, dated finishes, or anything that signals immediate work, they move on or they make lowball offers. And believe me, they do have options. They would rather pay a premium for move-in ready than take on a project of a beach house. The sellers who get the best prices do three things before they list. They declutter and depersonalize so buyers can see themselves in the space. Out-of-state buyers are scrolling through listings on their couch in Philadelphia or New York, and your photos either stop them or they don't. The guide goes deep on exactly what to do, and just as importantly, what not to spend money on to get your shore home ready for maximum value. Now, here is where the shore market really gets specific and where sellers without local expertise get blindsided. There are a handful of issues unique to this market that can derail a transaction, delay your closing, or cost you money at the table. And most sellers don't know they exist until they're already in the middle of a contract. First, flood zone designation. Your flood zone affects your buyer's flood insurance costs, and that cost affects what they can afford to pay in a home. A home in a high-risk flood zone with $4,000 or $5,000 annual insurance premiums is worth meaningfully less to a buyer than an identical home one street over that isn't. So know your flood zone designation before you list, not after you're under contract or you may be caught surprised. Second, existing rental leases. A lot of shore properties have summer bookings in place when they go on the market, and those leases must be disclosed, and they will directly affect your closing timeline. A buyer who wants to take possession in July is not going to be thrilled about a property with renters through Labor Day. There are ways to handle this strategically, but you need to plan for it up front. Third, and this one catches condo sellers in the Wildwoods and along the Jersey Shore off guard all the time. It's New Jersey's condo reserve study law. Buyers and their lenders are now scrutinizing HOA financial health more than ever. And if your building's reserves are underfunded, that conversation is coming and you want to be prepared for it, not surprised by it. There's more in the guide. Tidelands claims, CAFRA zones, what the New Jersey attorney review period is, what the mansion tax is, and the changes that now affect sellers over sales on $1 million. All of it is in there. This is a link in the description. When offers start coming in, this is where strategy and experience make a real difference. So here's something most sellers don't realize going in. The highest offer is not always the best offer. I've seen this time and time again. I've watched deals fall apart because a buyer overpromised. Their financing wasn't solid, their inspection demands were unreasonable, or their timeline didn't align with what the seller actually needed. The strongest offer is always the one most likely to close at the table, on your terms, and for the number you need. During the pending period, once you're under contract, you are going to face New Jersey's mandatory attorney review period, home inspections, and potentially an appraisal. Attorney review is a 3 business day window after signing where either party can cancel or request modifications to the contract. Most buyers use this window to come back with additional requests. Sellers who understand this process stay in control of it, and sellers who don't understand the process often give away concessions they had no reason to make. The guide covers the full offer evaluation process, what to look for in a contract, how to compare competing offers, and how to negotiate from a position of strength. It is detailed, it's practical, and it's free. The link is in the description. Now, one more area that consistently catches sellers off guard, especially non-residents and investors, is the tax side of a sale. If you've owned shore property for a number of years, there is a strong chance you're sitting on significant capital gains. Understanding how the federal capital gains exclusion works, what New Jersey's non-resident withholding requirements look like at closing, and if you're an investor, how a 1031 tax-deferred exchange can defer capital gains taxes on your sale for a very long time. This is not optional knowledge. This is money that either stays in your pocket or doesn't. And the guide has a full chapter on tax considerations written specifically for shore sellers, including the recent New Jersey mansion tax changes on sales over $1 million on a tiered scale up to 3.5%. If you are in that price range and your agent hasn't mentioned this to you yet, that is a problem. This is the kind of information that you can usually only get when you're sitting across the table from someone who's been doing this for 25 years or more, like I have. Now it's in a free download, and the link is in the description. So if you've made it this far, you are clearly taking this seriously, and that is exactly the mindset of sellers who walk away from closing with the best results. The free Shore Seller's Guide covers every single step we just talked about today, and a whole lot more. Grab it in the description, share it with anyone you know who's thinking about selling at the shore. And when you're ready to have a real conversation about your property and your specific situation, I'm a call or a text away. My contact information is below in the description, and I would genuinely love to help you. I'll see